Ya Hazreti Mevlana
Everything in the universe belongs to love. Everything is love. This mother has not given birth to all of us. Love has. Our real mother is love. With a single dance, the rhythm of divine inspiration, the Mevlevi order of Dervish revived this timeless ceremony with every whirl.
We have been making this spiritual journey for over 700 years. We want to live and preserve this belief, thought, and way of life. Sema is a rising high spiritually. It's the ascending of man. It's to feel the God, Allah, the universe, and the man in one. We call this Tawheed, unification. It's to eliminate the ego and being non-existent to be existed in God, to be with God. Sema has 4 parts. We call these salams. Ilallah, ma'allah, fillah, minallah. Towards God, with God, in God, and from God, coming back to mankind. Samazan, the whirling dervish, qualifying his heart, purifying his heart, rises high, then turns back to mankind, understanding, perceiving God and his mission.
Symbolism is of the utmost importance in the Mevlevi's world. To kiss all things living, non-living for appreciation. The tenure, a white wrapping which portrays the shroud around their body at death. Covered by a black cloak representing the coffin in which their body will lie. To the sikke, worn on their heads, that symbolizes the gravestone. Even a handshake personifies the mutual respect and equality they feel for each other. All these gestures and symbols bring the Mevlevi into divine light and praise the belief there is no God but God.
Within us, there is always this insatiable desire, yearning, longing to know and be in the divine presence. Like our master Jalaluddin, we are propelled to think, to feel, and to act out of state of being in divine love.
Europeans have been coming here to Istanbul since the 17th century and writing about this. So, and the term, le derviche tournant in French, the whirling dervishes in English, it's household words. Everybody has heard, whirling dervish. Everybody knows about it. But what do they know about it? And that's the extraordinary thing. Somehow the image of this whirling dervish has entered the popular imagination, and it stayed there for hundreds of years. It's nothing new. And yet, if you look at what has been written about this in English, French, German, Italian, it's pathetic. It's pitiful. There was no way to grasp the significance of the Mevlevi performance. It was like a butterfly that flew past the European imagination. And they tried to grasp it, or perhaps they didn't even try to grasp it. They knew it was not possible to grasp it.
İlk sema eden bizim bu kültürümüzde Hazreti Mevlana dönmüş. Bir kuyumcu dükkanının önünde birdenbire dönmeye başlamış aşk ile. Sonra kendi aralarında muhtelif meclislerde Hazreti Mevlana dönmüş ve şiir okumuş. Şiirleri bugün mistik bibliografyanın en büyük şiirleri, en güzel şiirleri.
So that bespeaks a certain vitality. It was not just, although it's a very formal tradition with a great deal of symbolism and representation. This is I find very hard for people to grasp, because it's not an ecstatic ceremony of a free, wild kind of ecstasy. Perhaps it was like that many hundreds of years ago, but over the centuries, it's developed forms that have an internalized ecstasy, which is also a very sophisticated and civilized approach to mysticism. And then within the symbolism of the whole ceremony, there are actually some very important mystical truths that are represented. And it's quite one thing to read these in a book and quite another to see them represented through such a ceremony. That can have a very deep effect.
Mevlevilik bir ekol, bir mektep. Gaye de arif insan yetiştirmek. Mevlevihanedeki sema da aslında bir tatbikat. Yani Mevlevi yaşantısıyla bir ayrı, değişik bir insan türü. Yani bakış açısı Allah'ın bakış noktası. Yaşantısı bir peygamber gibi yaşamak. Peygamber olmak imkansız o doğuştan. Bir veli sonradan oluyor. İnsan veli olabilir. Kendisinin veli olduğunu bilmeyen insanlar vardır. Belki bilenler de vardır. Veli de olamayabiliriz. Ama arif insan türü var ki, bu Hazreti Peygamberimizin hayrun nas men yenfa'un nas. İnsanların en hayırlısı insanlara faydası olandır. Yani o beni ilgilendirmez, bu beni ilgilendirmez değil. İnsanlar içinde yaşayacak ve misyonu da insanlara faydası olacak. Kim gibi deyince işte Hazreti Mevlana gibi, Yunus Emre gibi, Marconi gibi, belki Paganini gibi.
What is attractive for us in the West, and why so many people are attracted by Mevlana's messages? It transpires very strongly the essence which every human being wishes to get close to. And Mevlana has found has a language which is easily understood in the West also. Every human being has some level of comprehension. but Mevlana speaks about something which is above our comprehension. And so there's various ways, there's art, there's other ways to express something above our comprehension, and this poetry and his way to speak about things lifts us always a little bit above the level of 100% control through our mind and comprehension. And finally, that's where we want to go, because you see, you do not need religion to be a good person. There's many atheists who are very beautiful, good persons who live a good life and who are kind to other people and who are good for the society. Religion is not for this. Religion is to get above, for those who yearn to get above our comprehension.
People involved, the whirlers or semazens, they need to have spiritual training. It isn't just a dance, it's remembrance of Allah, remembrance of God, joy and love of God, and it's just Allah, Allah. It isn't a performance, it's not to be seen by audience, it's just to be, whichever way you turn, there's the face of God, and just to be whirling, and there's only God, and you feel that only God is whirling around you, and you're in the middle of only God.
I study the musics of Iran and the Arab countries and so forth. There's nothing quite like this.
The fact that this ancient Mevlevi music is still being composed today attests to its unwavering character and irresistible magnetism.
Looking at it as a musicologist, I do talk and write about its unique qualities. But if you look at it more broadly as a cultural phenomenon, that's, in a way, it's even more remarkable. The Mevlevis found an artistic way to communicate a certain spiritual, a transcendental vision, and to use both a choreographic movement and music and poetry to achieve that. It's no small feat. I mean, it's one of a handful, let's say, you could name on perhaps fingers of one hand, of human traditions that have achieved this and have perpetuated themselves for 600 years. That's again a very extraordinary thing.
Usullü, usulsüz ve icra edildiği anda bestelenen formlarıyla, ayrıca değişmez birer kaydı olarak kullanılan ilgi çekici usul birleşimleriyle yüzyıllar ötesinden günümüze ulaşabilen muhteşem bir repertuar.
Turkish music's true nature comes forth in the nuance of its refined pitches.
Bu kendine özgü perdelerin birbiriyle ilginç izdivaçlarından oluşan rengarenk makamlarımız, çalan, söyleyen ve dinleyenler üzerinde derin bir tesir yaratır.
Mevlevi musikisi, klasik musikimizin en büyük ürünleri, en büyük eserleri. Batı'da senfoniler, bizde Mevlevi ayinleri. Hem mistik musikimizin hem klasik Türk musikimizin en büyük eserlerini En büyük bestecilerimiz hem Mevlevi dergahlarından çıkmış hem Mevleviymiş ve en büyük eserlerini Mevlevi ayini olarak vermişler. Bugün de Doktor Alaaddin Yavaşçı gibi, Cünüçen Tanrıkol, diğer Mutlu Torun vesaire en büyük bestecilerimiz en büyük eserlerini Mevlevi ayini olarak vermişler. Mevlevi ayini diğer kültürlere de tesir icra etmiş. Mesela senfoni 4 muma, 4 devre. Mevlevi ayinlerde 4 selam. Burada genelde Hazreti Mevlana'nın Mesnevisinden, Divan-ı Kibir'inden Mevlana'nın dizeleri alınıp bestelenmiş. Bunların da içeriği, ihtiva ettiği konu aşk, sevgi. Allah'a olan aşkını dile getirmiş Mevlana. Onu okuyorlar, onu dinlerken dönüyorlar ve Allah Allah diyorlar. Ve insan, Allah, ben kainata sığmam, bir müminin kalbine sığarım buyuruyor. Ben bir inananın kalbine sığarım. Dönerken derviş Allah'ı kalbinde hissederek dönüyor. Allah Allah diyor ve mıtrip heyeti, sazlar Allah'a olan aşkı dile getiriyor. Ama Hazreti Mevlana semadan sonra insanı sevmek, Allah'ı sevmek buyuruyor. Yani Allah'a olan sevgimizi biz nasıl ispat edeceğiz? Namaz kılarak, oruç tutarak, emirlerini yerine getirerek, işin başında yaratılışının sebebi Allahu Teala bilinmekliği murad ediyor. Kendisinin bilinmesini, tanınmasını. Men arefe nefsehu fakat arefe rabbehu buyurmuş Efendimiz. Her kim kendini tanırsa, kişi kendini bilmek gibi irfan olan irfan mektebi dedi ki, kendini tanıdığı nispette Allah'ı da idrak ediyor.
The point of having such ceremonies is to strengthen a certain belief and view. Not just to know what exists in the library, but to actually have internalize it to yourself, to your group, and to the people who see it. If you think this is a valuable thing for mankind, then you'd want to support something like this. If, on the other hand, you think that transcendentalism is bad, dangerous, because it threatens materialism, then you wouldn't want to strengthen a tradition like this. If you prefer to have a materialistic society, then this is not a good thing to support, right? But of course, the Mevlevis were transcendental people who were very much living in this world and very much knew how to organize things in this world, which, to my view, is the kind of humanity that we need.